Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Riven. Before we start today, I have another interlude about the frickin' numbers in this game. So, last time, I'm just gonna switch over real quick so you know what I'm talking about. Last time we were here, we finally got into the Golden Dome, the Golden Globe of Riven, and supposedly, this is Gen's age here, the linking book to Gen's age, which has the number 233. But these numbers here are 9 and 8. So how does that work? Well, I've been rapping rapping too, but mostly racking my brain about this for quite some time, and I think I finally found the solution to this. So bear with me, everybody. The first thing that came to mind, or the first thing I tried figuring this out, was maybe I'm reading the numbers wrong. Maybe it's not 98. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's 89. But that didn't really get me anywhere either. So I tried maybe it's factorials, right? So that would be 9 times 8 times 7, etc. That doesn't work either because those numbers are astronomical, basically. And then I thought, well, what if once we get to two numbers, that's number 1, number 2, or two digits, maybe there's a base constant that's getting added, like 135, because 135 plus 98 would equal 233, or maybe it's the other way around and there's a top limit and we subtract from that, but I didn't think that would get me anywhere either, and it would be kind of inelegant in terms of Riven. So, thinking more about this, I thought maybe I'm going about this the wrong way. Maybe I'm putting the horses behind the cart, or whatever that saying is. So I thought I'd go back and get to the basics of this, to the numbers that we have and to the digits. Because the highest number we had encountered in this game that we actually had to use was 16, which is this. That is 16. And I thought there was a good number of sources in Gen's diary, right? In Gen's lab on Boiler Island. So I actually went through through my VOD and took a look and collected all the numbers, or all the dates in this case, of Gen's journal entries. And there were a couple of outliers here that struck out to me. So bear with me as I try and make this kind of clear what's going on in my head here. Right off the bat, the first couple of digits are all basic, but then when you get to number 2 and number 3, there's an interesting thing right there, because you have 15 right here, which is 3 turned counterclockwise. That's how that system apparently works, because if you turn 2 counterclockwise, it becomes 10. So I'm guessing the same is correct for 3, and we already know that 16 is that symbol here, this one, plus the 1 line down. So we have 15 here. But what about this 12 then? Why is 12 represented by 2 symbols here, when 12 would actually be this? Whoops, sorry, I'm in the wrong tool here. 12 would be 10 plus 2. But this isn't that. This is 1 and 2, separated into 2 digits. Why is that the case? So that got me thinking I'm going to have to look further into the other numbers that Gen has got going here. We have 14 to the right. Maybe I should do this. We have 14 here. That's just a 1 digit again. all the basic stuff here, really. 6, 9, 6, 37. As you can see, 37 is also represented by two numbers, two digits. And yeah, now here we have 11, which is the 10 plus the vertical line. As compared to 12, where we have the two digits here, which was interesting. And then we have this contraption here, which is, in my mind, 24, because you have this here is 4. If you turn that counterclockwise, it becomes this. And that would be times 5 is 20. And since it's 20 plus 4, it's 24. It goes to reason, right? I think that makes sense. I hope it does. And here to the left, we have... oh, crap, that was wrong. We have 12, which is what like I said before, just one digit here, and up here it is 2 digits. So that was weird to me. That struck out. And here we have 12 separated into 2 digits. So there's something afoot here that I didn't quite understand. So I thought maybe I should go through the numbers and see how far they go up, right? So the highest we can go, I found out, was 25. Because... wait, sorry. What was the highest we could go? Let me think. Let's just go through them. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5. And as you can see, starting with 5, we start to turn the symbols around. So these are all separate symbols, individual symbols, but once we get to 5, we turn it counterclockwise, and that's 1 times 5 then. So what is 6? With 6, we start to combine things up. This is 6, 1 plus 5. 7 would be this. 8 is, of course, 3 plus 5. Then we have 9, which is this. Bear with me, my writing's atrocious, I know. What was that? 9? Then we have 10. Now, again, there were 1, 2, 3, 4 symbols, and again we have to start over and take 2 times 5, which is this, which is 2 rotated counterclockwise. So we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm thinking. Right? This could be 15. That's a special case here. It could be 15, but I think 15 is actually... sorry, I'm going to delete this. 15 is actually written like this. Because it's, again, 3 turned counterclockwise. Just around, and that makes it 15. So moving on, 16 is this. 17. I'm confused right now. 17. I'm not fluent in this. I'm just getting this out of memory here. What was that? 16. 17. Yes, of course. 18. Which is kind of weird to notate. I wonder if this is correct. 19 would be this. And 20, what would 20 be? What does that look like? Because we can't have two 10s here. 20 would be 4 turned around, of course, yes. turn counterclockwise. So that's 20. Let's just mark this down so I know where to go from here. So 20 again is 4, turn to the side counterclockwise onto this. And let's continue this on for completion's sake. We have 21, 22, 23, 24. What was 4 again? Right. This is 24 and 25, which would be this, I think. If there is a 25, I'm not sure. So where would that lead us? Where can we go upwards from this? What would 26 look like? So far, in all these symbols, we didn't have 3 combinations, right? We only ever have 2, like 3 plus 5 is 8, and that stuff. But if we went on from here, since we don't have any basic numbers anymore that we can rotate around to get to a higher number, what would need to happen? Whoops, I need to make this bigger so it's not just invisible. In order to go to 26 from here, we would need to do this. And that's just ugly. That just doesn't bode well. So we have 24 symbols. Not counting this, because I'm not sure if this here exists. I'm not sure. The question is, do we have a symbol for 0? I've never encountered one. Do the Dani have a symbol for 0? But I'm thinking, since this is all based on 5s and we can go up to 24 at least, and if we have a 0, that this entire system is base 25. What does that mean? What is a base? Let's go from our system here. We have base 10, which means that we have 9 digits to represent all the numbers. So we can go from 0 to 9. But if we want to go to 10, we need to start combining the digits we have. So we need to move one over and go from, from 1, freaking tools, from 1 to 9 here. And count that upwards and start from the beginning on the right again. Right? So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we start again, only with a 1 in front. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and the 1 remains the same. And basically, that's what happens with base 25. Only that you have 25 symbols to display to show the first 25 digits. Let's see what this looks like in base 2, because it's easier to grasp the concept, I think. So in base 2, 0 is 0, and 1 is 1. In base 2, you have only 0 and 1, because that's the 2 digits you have in base 2. That's the concept. At least as I understand it. I might be wrong about all this stuff. I never finished my studies here. But anyway, if we need to go to 3, what do we do? Or to 2, I mean, sorry. We need to go 1 over, just like in base 10. We need to do this. Now this is where it gets interesting, because to us, this looks like 10. Okay, this is 10, but it's in base 2. So that means it's actually 2. So if we want to go to 3, of course, we do the same just like we would in our system. We go 1 up again. That's 3. Now what do we do? We have 0, 1, 2, 3. Now we go 1 over again. And that is 4. Looks like 100 to us, but it's 4. This is 5. This is 6. This is 7. This is 8, and so on and so forth. Okay, so the same goes for 25, only that we don't go up this fast, because we have 25 symbols to characterize the 25 first digits, and only once we hit 25, we have to go 1 over. So what does that look like in Dunny script or numbers? We know that we can display 24, which is this. Sorry, I had a brain freeze there for a second. So this is 24. In a 25, in a base 25 system, this would be the last number we can represent. So 25, if there is a 0. If there isn't a 0, we would go up to 25 like this. But I don't know if that's the case. I never saw a 0 in Riven. I'm not sure. I'm just assuming that there is a 0 because we had the force impact thing, and there was definitely a 0 marker, and it went up to, what was it, 25 or 30 even? I'm not sure. But there was a 0. So I'm assuming there is a 0, and we have a basic 25 base system. So if we want to represent 25 in this system, what do? We have to do this. 1, and since I don't know the symbol for 0, I'm just going to leave it blank, just as a placeholder. So this would be not 1 or not 10. This would be 25. And then 26, of course, would be this, because we start counting on this side now. This is always 25 at that point. And we just add up 27, 28, and so on and so forth. And it turns out that 98 in this 25 base system translates into 233. You're just going to have to trust me on this one. I couldn't really sleep yesterday. I got the rings under my eyes to prove it. And that was the product of a sleepless night. Anyway, we now know that the Riven, the Dunny numbers are base 25 and 98 translate into base 10, 233 perfectly. And with that out of the way, everybody, we can finally get back into the game. Thank you for bearing with me. I hope I made it somehow clear or somehow understandable what I'm trying to say here.